Welcome. This is Lexi with Helix Stitchcraft. Today we're going to be making this very simple dishcloth using primarily half double crochets, single crochets, and a rice stitch pattern for texture. Here we go. We're going to be using a 6.5 millimeter hook to start and then a 6 millimeter hook to do the rest of the project. You're going to need a measuring tape and some cotton yarn, and we're going to do a slip knot to start. Going to use our 6.5 millimeter hook and chain about 45. I'm aiming for 20 inches long here by about 10 inches wide. So, all right, I've chained about 45 here. I'm going to make sure that we've reached 20 inches. I like to clarify that I like to use a 0.5 millimeter larger hook for the foundation row than what I will use throughout the rest of the project to prevent puckering of that first row. Now, I'm switching my hook to a 6 millimeter, and we're going to be working half double crochets into the back bumps of this foundation row. Skip your first chain, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all three. We're going to do half double crochets across this row. Meet me back at the end. All right, we are approaching the end of our half double crochet foundation row. Now, turn your work. We are going to yarn over, chain one, and then do a double crochet into that first stitch and every stitch across the row again. Meet me at the end. All right, we are ending our third row with one final double crochet. Now we're going to turn our work, chain one, and do another row of half double crochets across this row. Again, meet me at the end. All right, approaching the end of row 4 with our half double crochets. Now I'm not going to finish the final half double crochet here. We're going to cut our yarn, and I'm going to show you how to attach our next color. Now, before you yarn over and pull through again, we're going to yarn over with the new color and pull through. Now turn your work. Bring those tails up. After we chain one, we're going to bring tails up. Tuck them behind. And when we go in, we're going to go under those tails and do our half double crochet. We're going to do half double crochets all the way across this row as well. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. And I'll meet you at the end. We're now approaching the end of our color change row with half double crochets. Now we're going to turn our work, chain one, and then first do a half double crochet into that first stitch. And then we are going to do a front post double crochet behind the next stitch. Back post. Next is a back post double crochet. So in through the back. There we go. Now front post double crochet around the post of our previous row's half double crochet. Now we're getting a back and forth pattern. Now we're going to back post or front. I confused myself. Continue your pattern across the row. Approaching the end of our front post back post patterned row, we're going to finish the final stitch with a half double crochet. So yarn over, pull up 3 loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Now we're going to turn our work, and we are going to chain 1, do our half double crochet for the first stitch of the row, and then you're going to do the opposite of whatever the stitch from the row below was. So now I'm going to do a back post double crochet onto that front post double crochet, and now a front post double crochet onto the back post double crochet, so on and so forth. Continue this pattern across the row. Now the final stitch on this back and forth pattern row, we are going to do another half double crochet. So yarn over, pull up 3 loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Now we're going to turn our work, and chain 1, and then we're going to do our half double crochet into the first stitch of the row and continue the pattern. We're going to front post double crochet the back post from the row before, and so on and so forth across the row. Now as we're approaching this final stitch on this row, we're going to be switching colors of our yarn again. So we're going to yarn over and pull up 3 loops, and then we're going to cut our yarn. We're going to finish this stitch by yarning over with our new color and pulling through all 3. And turn your work. We're going to chain 1 and start doing double crochets in each stitch across this row. The first several stitches we are going to be going over our tails, working them into our stitches. This tends to work better. I'm not sure why I did this backwards here, but this tends to work better if that first stitch you have your yarn tails tucked behind your work, but that's just not the way it worked out this time. So here we go, double crochet all the way across. We are going to be going back and forth for as many rows of double crochets as it takes to reach about 7 inches. Okay, we're halfway through our double crochet in that last stitch, so I'm going to yarn over and pull the color change through. Again, I should have tucked my tails behind my work for this first stitch, but we're going to chain 1 and work a double crochet over our tails. Now with our tails, we're going to leave about 2 inches out because I'm going to show you how to sew the rest of those in when we are done with our project. So again, we're doing double crochets across this row in our color change. Meet me at the end, please. Final stitch at the end of this row, we're doing our double crochet. Now we're going to turn our work again and chain 1. And we're going to do our half double crochet into our first stitch. And now we're going to front post double crochet in that first stitch, or second stitch, I apologize. And then back post double crochet into the next stitch. We're back to the back post, front post, back post, front post pattern across this row. Please meet me at the end. All right, as the previous color change section several rows ago, we're going to end and begin each row of our back post, front post pattern with a half double crochet. So yarn over, pull up 3 loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3. Now we're going to turn our work again. Chain 1, half double crochet into our first stitch of this row, and then the opposite of whatever was in the row before. So we are doing our, what was that, a front or a back post? I don't even know anymore. Just make sure that you're doing the opposite of the row before. Final stitch on this row. Again, we're going to yarn over, go into our stitch, yarn over, pull up 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3. And again, let's turn our work. Chain 1 and our half double crochet into that first stitch. And then we're going to half double crochet into each stitch across this row. Ending this row of half double crochets, we're going to change our color again. So you're halfway through your half double crochet, cutting our yarn and changing color. You're going to finish by yarning over with the new color and pulling through all 3. So we're going to turn our work again. Chain 1. And then half double crochet over our tails, which I tucked into the back that time. Look at me go. Half double crochets in every stitch across this row. Ending this row with our half double crochet, we're going to turn our work. Chain 1, and now we are going to double crochet, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, double crochet each stitch across this row. Here's our final double crochet for this row. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to turn our work again. Now we are going to do chain 1 and half double crochets all the way across this row again. All right, here's our final half double crochet for this row. We are going to turn our work, chain 1, and now we're going to single crochet to bind off the final row of our dish towel. Meet me at the end. Here we are at the final single crochet to our dish towel. We are going to go ahead and cut our yarn, pull our yarn through that last stitch, and now I'm going to show you how to weave in your ends. With this final stitch, I like to go into the prior stitch, pull through, and then come back through that last stitch, and then just go up, down, back and forth 3, 4, 5 times to make sure it's good and tight. Now with these other tails, we have crocheted over them, but left 2 to 3 inches to go ahead and weave in at least 2 more directions. I'm going to go up, follow my stitches to kind of hide our yarn, the same color in the same color, and I'm going to go in a different direction for a couple of stitches. This now makes for at least 3 directions, and here's 4 directions now, that my yarn has been sewn in to my project. And go ahead and trim that as close as we can. And there we go. There you have it, our completed dish towel. I obviously will be sewing in the rest of these ends on my own time. I hope that you all have enjoyed this tutorial, that it was easy to follow, and that you will share with me your makings. I hope you are all out there living your lives to the fullest, because it's all happening. I'm going to go live mine. Love you all. Goodbye.